amigo.
Sagamste pretyami gachanti ye kechat mano janah ane jare kammana sodaviyo naina deva advan purvamarsaden taddavadonyan atye vidishvat tasmin napomatarishva Karantarasya sarvasya daru sarvasya syavayada yastu sarvani bhutani yatmanevadupashyati sarvabhuteshu dharmanam dadonamijugupsyate yasmin sarvani bhutani yatmaiva bhuti janatah tatra komohakarashoka ekhatvamarupasyadah sabayada shukramakayamavranamashna viragam shuddhamapapaviddham Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta
need you to sing tonight. Everybody singing. World where I'm the king, can't tolerate. Because of this I'm suffering alone, 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 alone. And in my universe I can't be wrong. Those of us, you'll move along. Cross my path, you'll be gone. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Beginning of my downfall, yeah. That was the beginning of my downfall. Will I ever die? Will I ever of it all. Everyone else seems so small. That was the beginning of my downfall. Of my downfall. Never be the youngest friend. I'm gonna break. Too late, make amends. No, 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 no. Everything that I ever tried. It was not your Everybody having a good time? New rule, new rule. Who wants to know the new rule? Who can guess the new rule? Yeah, don't tackle the singer. That's the new rule. What do you think about that crazy rule? Is that a crazy rule? Am I being a little bit arrogant for coming up with such a crazy rule? I just showed my children, this is what daddy's gonna do. And they said, are you gonna die? I said, don't worry. They don't tackle the singer. That's only in Barcelona. We're gonna do it just once in better way. give it up for Death by Stereo. We met so many great bands on this little trip we went on. And I want to thank Raph, organizing this all for us, all the promoters of this awesome show, all the great people we met along the way. Can I share something with you? Check this out. Let's make a little promise for 24 hours. 24 hours. For 24 hours, I will not criticize anybody or anything. Who wants to attempt this experiment with me? No more criticism of anybody for 24. I don't even care if he's the biggest asshole. No criticism of anyone for 24 hours. Who wants to try that? And then we're going to do something else. For 24 hours, we're going to tell the people that are in our life, tell the people that love us, we're going to tell them how much we appreciate them. Our friends, our family, our kids, our spouse, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, we're going to tell them how much we appreciate them for 24 hours. And we got a lot of people in our life. Do this experiment. This way of training the brain to see the good in people and appreciate them and let them know it. It's a whole new type of thinking. What this world lacks more than anything, it lacks a lot of things. Oh, we're low on oil and we're low on... You know what we're really low on? We are low on appreciation. And when you add appreciation to your life, the whole world upgrades. Sing with me this song. Calculation from the statistics in a nation. And I wish you would cry. Can't just picture me as some horrible guy. Control of sex, freedom of fun, but that's on you. Just a kid, you're crazy and what you do. Like to stare around, hang up wood, I got better things to do. Try to keep in touch, I don't write that much. So you understand, progressive man, progressive man. The guys who run abundant happiness, I never see so much business. And I don't wanna fight. I should really get to bed. Tell your mom, your sisters, or your brothers, they all want me dead. Responsibility, they never back at me. 21, he's practically a bum. As mess come from harmless fun. Are you sure I'm the guilty one? I know it's not fair, I know it's unfair. It's easier to run. Loneliness made me say I love you, I think. Lie to myself, don't call. I don't want to hear it. If you can, progressive man, progressive man. The guys are running, running happiness. I never see stress. I just did what they'll do, and everyone else is doing. Her story's a romance, take a chance. Taste what they're pursuing. First off to me, the books, TV, and magazine shows. Try to understand. I won't think I'm still progressive man. get what, Sammy, I guess I figured out what's going on here. It's the Barcelona backflip. The famous Barcelona backflip. Okay, I want to see who sings louder, this side or this side. You know, when we speak, it's important. Because when I speak, it could be positive or it could be negative. It could give people hope or give them disaster. It can lift them up or drag them down. When I speak, so I have a responsibility with what comes out of my mouth. This is super important. Because whatever comes out of my mouth changes the world. I gotta be careful. You know that if you had crazy parents. Anybody have crazy parents? If you had crazy parents, the sound in the house made you crazy. And if you had a lot of love in your house, that sound brought you higher. As I get older, I gotta be more responsible for what comes out of my mouth. And those words will attract certain people. If you don't like the people in your life, guess what? You're calling them to you by what you say. Be careful what you put comes out of your mouth, and also be careful what you put in your ears in terms of what we read, what we watch on television. It creates our minds. It's powerful. If we want real transformation, if we really want to change the world, if we want real revolution, you don't have to go out there. You have to go right here. This changes the world right here. I got to change myself. Sing with me. This song is called Mantra. Ready? Come on. Look at me, a lonely place. Blank stares over people's face. I contemplate the pointless chase. Traps me and my friend. Wisdom is where I belong. Where do we go wrong? Will it last real long? Are you tell us why I don't know? Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I feel so all alone. Yes, I'm a brother. I feel so far from home. My time, take me home, I trust you. My time, take me home to the place where I belong. That's a puzzle that thought was solved. Most choose not to get involved. Because of this we don't evolve. Just look around, my friend. The reason can be hard to grasp. All of a sudden this won't last. Well, before you change it, I don't really gotta know you. Sometimes you never feel it. Sometimes I feel so all alone. And yes, I'm a promise. I feel so far from home. My time, take me home, I trust you. My time, take me home to the place where I belong. There's a place where I belong. Where did we go wrong? Will it last real long? Are you still singing that song? Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I feel so all alone. Yes, I'm a brother. I feel so far from home. Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I feel so all alone. Yes, I'm a brother. I feel so far from home. Oh, to take me home. Sam, this could be One of the funnest shows we played the whole tour. This could be one of the best shows. Right? In praise of others. Glorify others to my intense pride. In amongst friends, with bond I sit and criticize. What I do best, how I forget my actual side. Leash that ties me to this world. Well, we give my brought me to this world, Lord. Please help me move forward. I've been guilty so long, I know that I'm wrong. Please help me sing this song in praise of others. In praise of others. In praise of others. In praise. And I glorify others, my sisters and my brothers of anyone else. I'm with you, can't forget myself. And feel disease as inside of me. I'm the loser in the end. We get my home into this world, Lord. Please help me move forward. I've been guilty so long, I know that I'm wrong. Please help me sing this song in praise of how dare I see myself honestly as others may see. Don't turn away, or you what they say benefit me. I didn't die, they never cried. We get my rope into this world, Lord. Please help me move forward. I've been guilty so long, I know that I'm wrong. Please help me sing this song in praise of others. Praise of others. In praise of others. In praise. New rule. Who wants to hear a new rule? I know in the old days of punk rock, the t-shirt said, no rules. Remember that shirt? That one didn't work out very good. Because to have no rules, that means we can't even drive home properly. Everybody's driving all over the street. We need some rules. Now here's a rule. Try this one out. Don't throw shit at people. That's a new rule. What do you think about that? That's a pretty fair rule. That's a reasonable rule. Now I get there might be some different cultural things. In some cultures, throwing shit at people is a sign of love. But I don't think it's like that. We're just not gonna throw shit at people. You know why? Because people are worth giving dignity to, right? And I think we should treat everybody with a little bit of dignity. What do you think? See, that's what I love about this music scene I'm a part of. When we first got into this punk rock thing, it was about spit on people, throw shit at people, blame the world for all the problems, take no personal responsibility, fuck up my mind and my brain and my intelligence and put anything in my mouth. And guess what? We started a whole new scene within that scene. It was the punk rock of punk rock. We said, treat our body like a temple. You know why? It is a temple. Be careful what you put in your mouth. What you put in your mouth is going to create you. Don't waste life. Life is precious. All this bullshit about live fast, die young, it's bullshit. Our life is valuable, our life is precious, and we have a contribution in this life. Treat people with dignity. Treat people with love. Treat all species with love and dignity. Treat the earth with dignity. Trust. 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 I trust. People in this world that should bring the possess. Then the sky and water, but they try to forget. Yes, everything that they feel, thing that they kill, was given to them by your free will. That's all we are, not created, manipulated, and leaving the scars. Robbing from the earth, stealing from the trees. Not under mirror, but with that steam. What can I know? Family from the team, that's all I know. I should be mine, I'll be in line. But I want to what I got. People will fight up. That's all I ever wanted. I try to understand, tripping friend. Not me, coming, I know what else can. You and everything is everything in you. You know I appreciate all that you do. The pain in this world, to help us see reality of material misery. Please help me understand, I want it to end. But this apart from you, I can just pretend that I die. Give me your mind, just to love you, I'll be your behind. Get out of change, with your team, and I'm sick. Love this reality.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare This was my game. So-called pleasure, just sensation of pain.
Fool myself with love again and again. Tried to love, movements of smash.
Spread about people, and left all alone. Not even a month, I'm never come home. We're all with each other, what's the difference from me? Fucking out of our day, this is what I play.
That's all I ever wanted.
I'm looking for something real. Down on the street that are people just like me who know the way that I feel. Wow. I'm alive, but I'm not gonna be defeated. Now I wanna hear from my triple short. I'm sick of being cheated. I quest for something certain.
Every school, what they gonna do? Because the people agree. So many people cheat, so many people agree to make a claim to authority. See the damn boss, compromise, what's an ever teacher? Hey, it's my quest.
It's my quest. It's my quest, my quest for certainty.
That place without certainty. Once I try my mind, manifestation certainty. They want from this
family, when you can set it free, it's a nice soon you'll be dead.
world of a dream, never would have seen. Child would have stayed the same. I know how far. I'm looking real hard. If there was a place where you didn't cry, die, will you come with me?
A quest for something certain.
Try my best, manifest sincerity.
What could they want from me?
I trust that my life is in divine hands. If you're going through a hard time in your life, don't worry. There's reasons why we suffer in this world. And it's not meant to grind us. It's only meant to bring us higher. Sing with me this song, In Defense of Reality. Security, I should go hard. We don't got many songs. We got like one song left. Is that okay? But it's been a good show. It's been a great show. I think it's been the best show. And I don't just say that. But before we continue, I want to introduce special guy just joined our band. Young guy. He's a yogi. He's a healer. He's got a great voice and we love him. Say what's up to Madhu. We met in India and it was a mystical, divine arrangement. Anybody heard of an album called Quest for Certainty and Attaining the Supreme? These are some of my favorite records we ever did. And it was perfectly orchestrated. Songs were written, backup vocals all done by our bass player Krishna Chaitanya Das. Say what's up to KC. And I don't know about you, but I got a poster on my wall of this kid back here, drummer of Judge, Project X, Side by Side, Youth of Today. Say what's up to Sammy. Project X, Bold, Youth of Today, Judge. What the hell? Purcell. They were in all my favorite bands. My name is Ray Kappa. What's up? So this last song, I want to sing together like a family. I want to learn to see people like family members. I want to welcome them with open arms. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of holding resentment towards people. I gotta learn to forgive quicker. Without forgiveness, I can't grow in this world. Everybody give a high five to the person next to you. Yeah, to the person right next to you. And behind you. I need you guys to sing this real loud, Barcelona style. Here we go again. Yeah, sure, she uses sex. hope that makes us strong. So we go on and play. Here we go again. It's a big boss, no one can be into. Here we go again. We love not wisely, but not wisely, but too well. Hope it's she will be the one. Never learn from our mistakes. Missed our beauty, love soon died. Only take a move to separate. And gold appear the same. What it's costing to attain. I'll be the only one. So I wanna play. Want to get it done. Let me answer. Here we go again. Big one, no one can be into. Here we go again. We love not wisely but too well. We love not wisely but too. Why the gold not be the same? What is costly to obtain? I'll be the only one. Like I wanna play it again. Here we get back, think we found the answer. Here we go again. No, I can be the answer. Here we go again. 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 Go back. Here we go again. Here we go again. We love not wisely, but too well. Thanks a lot, everyone. We're Shelter.
Saradava Nalalita Loka Tranaya Karunya Ganaganatvam Praptasya Kaljana Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanadavindam Mahaprabhu Kir Tananritya Gita Varitra Madhyan Manasura Sena Romancha Kampash Shutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanadavindam Sri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shingaratamandira Marjanado Yuktasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanadavindam.
White knee jaw. White knee jaw. White knee jaw. Shelter. Wild it enough. Shelter. Wild it enough. Shelter. Ready to help. With the mind of tree. Thinking that this world revolves around me. in your hands. I need something higher. Please, let me protest. Thanks a lot, beautiful. Thank you so much. Very grateful.
Bona nit a tothom. En aquest quart programa d'Estraperlo TV, com heu vist, hem repetit el format del dia de Goril·la, primer el concert i ara l'entrevista. Bueno, ho hem tingut a Shelter, crec que era després d'haver portat a Youth of Today i Gorilla Biscuits a la sala, només ens faltava portar Shelter, però bueno, encara ens queda un grup. El pròxim grup que crec que hauríem de portar seria Judge. I res, doncs, juntament amb el company que presentaré ara, en Gabi, esperem que podem portar-los l'any que ve, al juny, en el Summer Blast. Tenim aquí el Gabi. Gabi, què tal?
Hey, ¿qué tal?
Yep.
¿Se escolta bien o qué?
¿Qué tal todo? Sí,
Bien,
todo bien.
no fe,
¿Qué tal
no fe.
todo?
Sí.
¿Qué tal?
Encerrados.
¿En qué proyecto estás ahora aparte de entrenador personal?
El pupilo de entrenador personal no, ha abandonado la carrera.
¿De verdad?
Pues nada, haciendo el disco nuevo de Apraise, que joder, con la cuarentena y con todo hemos cancelado grabación y tal, y bueno, esperemos que grabarlo antes de que acabe el 2021, adaptando un poquito Canky Pass Down a la situación que hay, porque, bueno, es lo que hay. Obviamente no va a haber Canky Pass Down a finales de enero, como cada año. Se va a intentar hacer algo a finales de mayo, pero bueno, estamos un poquito pendientes de cómo evoluciona todo y nada, y así va el tema, ¿sabes? O sea, adaptándonos a la situación y esperando que la situación mejore y que todo vuelva a la normalidad.
Ya, la verdad es que el tipo de conciertos que montamos nosotros creo que vamos a ser los últimos, y aparte hacer conciertos de hardcore con sillas y distancia de seguridad creo que sería un peligro. A lo mejor no copiaríamos el virus, pero nos abriremos demasiadas las cabezas, creo yo.
Me lo propusieron, varias gente me lo ha propuesto en plan de, podemos hacer algo así como más tranquilo. Es en plan, bueno, tampoco no hay que desvirtuar el asunto, ¿sabes? O sea, no se puede y ya se podrá, ¿sabes? Pero ya, cuando volvamos con fuerza y como se tiene que volver.
Sí, nada. Esperamos que sí. Espero que no se haya borrado mucha más gente, porque ya quedábamos pocos como para que ahora haya un par de años de break en esto del hardcore. Puede ser un arma letal, creo.
Bueno,
pues nada, vamos a ver si está ya nuestro invitado en el otro lado, a ver si está Sammy, ¿está por ahí? Hey, here we are.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hola. ¿Qué tal? Good.
All good.
Hola.
Good.
Does it work with
Yes,
headphones?
California.
Does it sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds okay, yeah.
Cool. California
How
is
is
nice.
life?
Life is okay. It's crazy times. You know, my daughter is homeschooling on the computer, so I'm like, you know, at home kind of making sure everything's cool with her and trying to just make the most of this crazy time, you know. We have this election, which is fucking crazy. And it's
how's the
just a wild
situation
time.
with the election? Is the people on the streets with the election and all those things or not?
Not so much, you know. You hear of little things happening. I don't think it's as bad as people thought it was going to be yet. It really depends on what Trump does. You know, I think he's going to lose, but if he doesn't want to get out, then people are going to get pissed. But then again, if he loses, his his people might get pissed. It's been a crazy year. I don't know. I trying to trying to think about it and be involved, but also trying to step back and think about what's important. You know what I mean? Which is family and people like you, my friends. And that's important too. Don't get me wrong. The election is important. It's very important. But there's only so much I could do.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave you with Gabi to do the interview, and see you in a few. Okay. See you later.
Thank you, my brother. Cool.
Yeah. What's up, Sammy?
What's up, Gabi?
Long time no see you.
Are you in?
Sorry?
This is your part. Are you in your apartment where I stayed at that one night?
Yeah. The place where you stay.
That's so cool. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. At least it's a little bit familiar. So last time I saw you was actually a year ago with the shelter in Spain and the Netherlands, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, at the Sound of Revolution.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was a special show, man. It does fly.
Yeah.
I haven't really I haven't played drums in a while. It kind of sucks, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy that was a year ago.
Yeah. So let's start with the interview. So
yeah, man,
I'm gonna ask you a little bit how you get involved in hardcore, because I asked a few people something about things that they would like to know about you, and everyone is really curious that you get involved at a very young age, like at 13 or 14, right?
Yeah.
So how does it happen?
I grew up in New York City, like in Greenwich Village, downtown. So, you tend to grow up kind of fast that way. And also my dad is a drummer and my grandfather's a drummer. So I had music and I was playing. And when I was really little, I was into Kiss. And I was like, it was Kiss. They had makeup and I had the makeup and I was really into that. And so just at a very young age, the idea of like rock and, of music like that on that level was exciting. I had an older sister and she was into like Blondie and Devo and kind of got me into that stuff. And then she introduced me to two guys who were older that were in a band that was like punk and reggae and ska and a little bit hardcore. They covered Power by Agnostic Front. And they needed a drummer, so I started playing with them. The band was called Noise Police. And they were in high school and I was 11 years old, And so that was sort of like my first band. We would play little shows. We played their high school and we played a couple other things. And then my friend met Walter from Gorilla Biscuits, his little brother, and said, hey, my brother's got a band called Gorilla Biscuits. They need a drummer. And I was 12 years old and I started playing Gorilla Biscuits, but I wasn't that good, so they kicked me out. But that's when I met those guys. And now I met, the New York hardcore scene, and just kept, next thing you know, I met the guys from Side by Side and they needed a drummer, and it was all just, and then Side by Side started playing with Youth of Today, and then Youth of Today needed a drummer. And it was just, a little bit of timing, a little bit of like just working at it. I had a drum set, I had a place to rehearse, and I loved it. I was really into it. That was everything to me, was being in bands with my friends. So it just kind of happened. I guess my older sister and then my dad being in music, and then just, being a New Yorker and being connected, being able to find it. I'm thankful that I've just, because a lot of people never find it. And I found hardcore the same way that you did,
Cool. So that's actually 30 years ago, right? Or 30 something?
No, longer, 35. Well, I'm 47 now. So like I was 11. 30 something years ago. It was like 1986, 85, 86, kind of getting into it. And, but back then too,
I was
like,
4.
Blondie, I mean, like many people, for me, it was the Sex Pistols. It was the Dead Kennedys. It was the Repo Man soundtrack, and then, and like Flipper and like just punk, I guess, and these compilations and records and going to record stores and not really knowing the difference between Suicidal Tendencies or The Exploited, but just I liked it all. It was fucking exciting. Yeah. And then as you peel back the layers, you realize, wait a second, Suicidal Tendencies is California, that's that, and Straight Edge is this, and DC is this, and Boston's that, and England is this, and like, you start to piece it together, and And so I think my whole musical journey has been a very natural, just kind of happens natural. Let's play music. Let's do a demo.
Yeah.
Let's do an EP. Let's do an album. Let's play some shows. Let's play a lot of shows, and if I would the plan was not to be playing Shelter Youth of Today Judge shows 30 years later. It just, that's where we are. It's natural, it just happened and it feels good.
Yeah. That actually today, a couple of friends, we were talking about that right now it seems like when you start a band, there is like a plan that hey, we need to do a record. We need to do a lot of touring, and then it's like it's missing the fire inside, because as you said, you never plan about touring the world with Shelter or Just for Today or whatever. It just happened,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it lasts 30 years, But well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to define in 10 seconds all your bands. Okay, the classics and the new ones. Okay, so Just for Today in a few words.
I mean, I was a fan. That was my favorite band. To me, they were the best before I was in the band. I love them, and I think Ray Capo is really special, and Ray and Purcell together is special, and the music and the message, it's pure fire. It's fucking pure fire. If you could see them, I mean, Youth Today now is special, but Youth Today back then, it's always special. I mean, Ray is unique. He's a really special one, and so I love that band. I'm a fan.
All right, good. Side by Side.
That's a cool one. That goes back to the beginning for me. That was like my first band. It was the first thing I ever really recorded. It was the first 7-inch I ever recorded. Recorded Violence to Fade for the Together compilation. And listening to it now, it's a really cool band. I mean, Eric had the whammy bar with the guitar. The music was like, it wasn't so formula. It was like a little bit weird, the music, I think, looking back. And it's really unique. It's more unique now listening to it than I thought it was at the time. Those are just special songs. And we were different people, but in a cool kind of way. We had this big, tall, skinhead bass player, Billy, and Jules was his own guy, and Eric was his own dude, and I had my own. I was a baby, and and Alex Brown, and then Gavin was in the band for a little bit. It's a special band.
All right. So, rival schools.
It just felt refreshing. It just felt like a big breath of fresh air. It was like big deep breath. When I look back at it, it just feels we were able to just experiment a little bit. And the thing about hardcore, I love it, but sometimes you get kind of stuck in these kind of little rules. You can't write it, the song can't be too long, and you got it can't be this and it can't be that, but it needs to be this. And with rival schools, we were able to just stretch a little bit, and just have fun and experiment. And we had some success in the UK, which was cool because I'd never experienced that before. The UK was like we were playing. It was playing on the radio, and there was videos, and there was interviews, and it just felt like a little different. Which I like new experiences, so that was fun. And and even to get back together and do pedals 10 years later, it's just kind of this special other. It's just there's no real rules to rival schools. It's its own thing.
Yeah, and what about Judge?
Judge is it's so cool because there's so many different times. There was Judge when I wasn't in the band, when it was a 7-inch and it was really Mike and Purcell. There was Judge, back then, the first time around in 1989 and 1990. And then there's kind of Judge now, which, we went to Bangkok. We went to, the Philippines and we travel the world, man. We go to South America and we get to play. And I think the music aged well, and the message is really strong. And what's also cool, it's hard to think now because there's so many bands that are doing heavy. But Judge at the time was one of the first bands to really take youth crew hardcore, I guess, and put it into that sort of metal setting. Yeah. I mean, a few bands were doing it, the crossover, but I think we kind of had our own little thing, and also pushing the envelope with the lyrics, and just Mike was a little extra pissed, and it was a little extra fucking a little extra in your face, and so I love that band, and yeah, love it.
And Project X. How many shows play Project X?
Maybe like 6 shows or 7 shows. I mean, it was really a project, you know. It was
Yeah.
really fun. If it just was like, it was, you know, just like so, yeah, so much fun just to go into something and like, let's do these 4 songs. It's a 7 inch. One song is 5 seconds long, and it's a project. And we had these like fake kind of code names and stuff, but it was also very serious because we were so fucking straight edge and we were so into it that Straight Edge Revenge, you know, really meant a lot. And the song Shutdown really meant a lot because CBGB's was our home, and we got banned from CB's. We, you know,
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to go to play or go. And so that pissed us off. And like, you know, it was a very, you know, it was a project, but it wasn't a joke. It was real, and it was cool.
So now about the new ones. Will Be Free. Well, it's not that new.
Will Be
It's,
Free.
how long have you been?
Yeah, I mean, that's what's cool about new bands is that you start it and it's new, and maybe it's a project, and maybe people don't really know what this is, but the next thing you know, time flies, and here we are. Now we've been a band for 3 or 4 years, and we've got our second release coming out. I moved to California from New York like 8 years ago, and I kind of wanted to do like a California project or like a band, you know, with locally. And you know, Scott Vogel and Andrew and Joe Garlip, and they were like the dudes. So we just started writing, and I think we wanted to make something that was kind of like classic, like Gorilla Biscuits or Minor Threat or something. And we worked at it. We worked really hard. We wrote a lot of songs, and we put out this record about 3 years ago. And then we just couldn't tour. Scott got injured. His back got screwed up. And he's also in Terror, who's really busy, and everyone's just really busy. So it was sort of felt more like a project, but just kind of stayed at it and started writing more songs. And now we've got this new record, which comes out. Now it's coming out actually in December. It's a little bit delayed. I think December 13th. But it's called One Time for Unity. Chuck Reagan from Hot Water Music sings on this one song. And it's
cool.
It's cool. It's cool. I love the band. Yeah.
Nice. And then you have, I don't know if it's a band or if it's a project, but Constant Elevation.
Constant Elevation
Is that a band?
causes expansion. Same kind of thing. Like I said before, I mean, a lot of these things, you don't know what they are when they start. Judge started as a 7-inch, you know, Gorilla Biscuit started as a demo tape. Like, you just plant little baby seeds and you see where it's going to go. So Constant Elevation was something that I started writing my own music, and I wanted someone to sing. And I reached out to Vinny from the Movie Life, who's an old friend, and he sang on it. And yes, at first it was a 7-inch, but then it was like, it was fun. Let's write some more songs, and let's play some shows. So we needed a band. So we got Mike Ireland from I Am the Avalanche and Yanni from Caspian to play in the band, and we started writing new songs. It was like, now we have new music, let's record. And now we have the second 7-inch called Freedom Beach, which came out. You know, you take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And I'd love to make an album, you know, with Constellation, and I'd love to keep both those bands going. They're cool.
Okay. So let's go back to Shelter. I mean, I know you've been in the band like in a couple times in the band, right?
Yeah.
Like you recorded 7-inch, and then you were before.
Yeah, I recorded. Yes, I recorded Saranagati and Freewill. Those were the first 2 recordings I think that ever came out, and then I kind of was out of the band, and then I was back in, and we played some shows around when we were writing for Mantra together. I didn't play on the Mantra record, but we were writing together. We toured with like that weird tour with Typo Negative. That was probably like the early 90s, I guess. And then I was out, you know, doing Civ, doing other bands, and what's kind of interesting about Shelter is that they continued, you know. And I like bands that always have the band members, you know, like The Clash or whatever. Like, it's something special about that. But I do think it's sort of cool that Shelter has been around for so long and put out so many records, and they're all kind of different, and they've had all these different lineups. And, Ray is the constant, Raghunath, Ray Capo, he's the constant one.
Yeah.
But these different members, and so you can hear how it sounds at these different like points, and everyone has their favorites. Some people like the later stuff, some people like the earlier stuff. I mean, when we write a set list, we argue a lot about that because some people think that this is the best Shelter, and other people think that's the best Shelter, and what's the most fun set list going to be? So
but on the reunions you only play until Mantra, right? Nothing else. I mean, it's this until Mantra, nothing from the last record.
I think we play just the first 3 records is pretty much what we focus on. I think End Hits Records is gonna reissue the later records, and maybe we'll play some of those songs. Yeah. Wow. I never listened to those later records, to be honest. I mean, I not too much. So I think, to me, my favorite Shelter is when it was a little bit scary. When they came out, they were Hare Krishnas. They had robes on, they had sikas, they had tilak, and the music was really fucking crazy. It was heavy, and Ray was doing a little bit of Youth of Today style screaming, but also singing in this really cool, weird way. And there was chanting, and there was samples, and it felt dangerous. And so I like, when Shelter plays now, I'm trying to conjure that experience, the dangerous Shelter. Let's turn the lights out. Let's fucking light some incense. Let's if you're a devotee, let's invite devotees on stage. That's what they used to do. I mean, I think that's special, man. I mean, and those guys are Hare Krishnas. I'm the only one that's not. I mean, Madhu, Casey, Paramananda, Raghunath, they're all devotees. So do it.
Yeah. And a friend of mine asked me, how come you were not asked to record the Ryan Porcel 7-inch and they use a drum machine? Were you asked to record that?
I wasn't asked, but I also I don't think I expected to be on it. I think it was more of like a project that they were doing, and Dylan, who's Walter's little brother, is, part of our crew. He's a friend of ours, and he had the machine. He had an MPC 2000, 3000, 4000, the MPC. So he was programming beats, and I think that was important. I wasn't programming beats, so I think that made it. We used to play that song live a little bit, and it was cool with real drums, but it also kind of sounded like a Shelter song. So what's cool about the drum machine is that it's different. It's forever. It is what it is. It's like its own thing.
All right. So new people asking, is there any chance to have a new Rival School music?
Maybe we talk about it. Well, we wrote a lot of songs before we kind of went on our last little hiatus. Me and Cash and Walter got together like 3 times at this house in New Jersey, our friend's house, and we wrote music, and we wrote like 15 songs, and we went to J. Robbins' studio, we did some demos, and then we kind of put it on the shelf. So we have music, and we talk about it. So I don't know. I would love to do it. We'll see. It's just about finding time, and I know Walter is doing Quicksand and a bunch of things, and life gets trickier, but I would say maybe.
Well, but I never saw. I know you play Barcelona. You played once in Barcelona, and that day I got the ticket for the show, but that day my grandmother died, and I remember I missed the show. But I remember you played Barcelona, so I never saw you.
We played there once, and if you ask me like my favorite day on tour ever, I'm sure if you ask me or Walter or a few of us, like we'd probably say the same thing. But long story short, we were on tour. It was summertime. We were in Spain. We played Bilbao, and I think we played Barcelona. We played Bilbao, and then we had a day off, and we were supposed to go to Geneva. And it was summer, and it was really hot. And we were going to just go to Geneva because the bus driver wanted to like sleep, and it was a city, and he could plug his bus in, and it was like where we were going to play next. And it just was like, we don't want to go to Geneva. We want to go to the beach. It's fucking summertime. So we started asking these locals, hey, where would you go to the beach? and I think we were driving through Barcelona. But anyway, they said Caracas. A bunch of people said go to Caracas.
Ah, yeah.
Right?
Cadaqués.
Caracas, where Salvador Dali lived, you know. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
told the
yeah.
bus driver.
Civilized.
The bus driver was pissed at us because we had to go on these windy roads in this big
Yeah.
bus, and he fucking hated us. We get there, and we woke up sweating. He didn't turn the air conditioning on. We're sweating. Anyway, we rented scooters. We cruised around. We went swimming. Had like one of the best days on tour ever. It was magical.
Oh, well.
So a lot of love for Spain, and always.
Yeah.
Another Spain
And
story real
then,
quick too. I mean, I know it's Basque Country, so it's different.
uh-huh.
But Youth of Today in 1989, I think we played like Paris, and we had some crazy drive to
Overnight drive.
Victoria,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy in a
That might
van
be like a 15 hours driving or something.
in 1989, and we got there and we were just so fucking out of it. But I remember they had, and this was 1989. There was an all vegetarian Spanish restaurant that we went to, and you know, being all vegetarian at that time, like it was really hard to find food, and so that was, and being Spain, you know, a Basque country, the food was amazing.
It was paradise, right?
It was, man.
All right. So people is asking about how come you record music for Limp Bizkit and then tour with
Yeah,
them.
I played. So I'm kind of always down for like, you know, the adventure. I'm a musician. I like to play music with people who are serious about it, or try new things or see what it's about. So in 1999, I got asked to play in Glassjaw. Glassjaw, because their drummer
Yeah.
didn't work out. The producer hired me. I got hired as like a session drummer to play. And then they wanted me to be in the band and made this record. But I met the producer, Ross Robinson, and we became friends. Ross did At the Drive-In, did Glassjaw, but he also did the first Limp Bizkit, the first Korn record. So years later, he called me up and said, "Hey, Limp Bizkit wants to make like a heavy record. Do you want to like play drums on it?" So sure, yeah, man. I mean, I was never a Limp Bizkit fan. I thought they were kind of a joke, and you know, but I was like, let's try it, let's meet. And so we met, and you know, they were really nice. Wes Borland and I are like became good friends, and went to a beautiful studio, and they were paying me to play drums, and it was like, you know, they had these two vegetarian chefs there cooking food, and you know, I had two drum sets set up, and I was just like, I mean, it was fucking nice. So. So really, so that's the answer. I mean, really, just the experience. I mean, if you're a nice person and you want to pay me to play drums on your record, sure, let's
I'm
talk. You know, yeah.
All right. So
And also, the
what
music was
before-
good. Real quick, the music that we made was really good. It was like kind of like the second Rage Against the Machine record meets like Pantera maybe. It was like heavy. And then little by little, it got fucked up, and it became this EP. And then they re-recorded stuff. They did a ballad, and they did like a hip hop track. And the record's not very good. But the original songs for that record, the original idea before it got fucked up, was headed in a really good place.
I never been a fan of them. I never checked
No.
them out, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's good.
it's all right.
So Would Be Free
yeah.
has a new record, right? And
Yeah.
who's in the band? I mean, I know you're supposed to come to Europe with Judge, but something happened that you didn't make it.
Yeah. So Scott, our singer, Scott Vogel, who sings for Terror,
Yeah.
he broke his neck or had something fucked up, so
Okay.
he couldn't go. But Scott sings. Andrew Klein from Strife, he plays guitar,
Yeah.
and then this guy Joe Garlip, who was from Buffalo, who grew up with Scott. I think he was in a band called Envy. He also plays guitar.
Yeah.
And then the first record was Arthur Smilios from Gorilla Biscuits, who lived in New York, so he came out to record, but it was just too hard going back and forth, and
Yeah.
he had a really demanding job. And so then on this new record, we got Alex Beretta from Chain of Strength to play. And so now Alex is in the band, and it's you know, we're gonna try and play shows. The record is really cool. It's 5 songs, and it's a little heavier. It's a little bit, you know, it's interesting because Arthur plays one way and Alex plays another way. And Alex plays a little grittier and a little heavier, a little nastier. And I think you hear that. Just that one change influenced it a lot. But we have 2 songs that are streaming now. Check it out, and then the other 3 songs are really cool also.
So hopefully, when the COVID thing is over, then you make it Europe. But
Yeah,
hopefully next year.
definitely.
And back to Shelter a little bit. 2018, you did the came back. How did it happen? How did you guys got together, and how did it feel?
With Shelter or with Youth Today or
Yeah,
both?
yeah. In 2018 is when you start playing shows again as Shelter, and then how
Yeah.
the idea came up.
I think that we were probably talking about it because I think Youth Today came first. So by playing Youth Today shows, now I'm traveling again with Ray and Purcell, and we're all talking. And so I think we just talked about Shelter, and I think that there were a couple offers, and promoters were saying, "Hey, can you do this?" And one was from This Is Hardcore, the festival. Our friend Joe Hardcore invited us to play. So then it's like, all right, well, do we do it or do we not do it? So it takes a lot of work though, because we all live in different places. Who's going to play bass? I wanted to get as many original players as possible. So we got Casey, who's an original bass player. And Casey's really special because he sings backup vocals, and he sang on a lot of those recordings. Like he did the low harmonies on like The News and songs like that. I think he played the guitar solo on The News. So he's like tied to the original thing. We tried to get like an original guitar player, but it just wasn't working out. So we got Madhu, who's just younger, and he's not really a hardcore dude, but he's a devotee, really talented. He could sing really well, and can play really well. And so it just took time and like rehearsing, and then coming up with a set list and just chipping away. And then we played that one show, and it worked. It was good. And then that's really the test of like, all right, it was good. People like it. We liked it. Let's do more. And that's really the whole thing with Judge, with Youth of Today, with Shelter. It's about spending time with your friends and also doing the music some real justice, because we love it. For me, like I want to work at making it as good as possible when people see Youth of Today now, or Shelter now, or Judge now, because it's important to like have it all just. I don't want to go out feeling like a bunch of old dudes that are still playing that shit. Like, and I still play drums. We all still play our instruments, and Ray is still extremely focused. And it's all coming from the heart. Same thing with Mike, with Judge. So like that's kind of why we do it. And I think that as soon as it stops becoming fun, or stops becoming like energetic, like if you don't feel that energy anymore, then we would probably stop. But so yeah, anyway, the short answer is we got back together at This Is Hardcore, and then it was like other little things just kind of presented themselves, whether it's a festival in Europe or this or that, or we did it.
That makes sense. So time to talk about new music. There is the rumor that Shelter might do a new record. Is it happening?
I think we talk about it. I mean, it's a little easier with Shelter because it's not like straight up hardcore, like it's like Shelter, and I feel like we could sort of do it. So we talk about it. I think Purcell's been writing some songs. It's just hard to like get together and make it happen. You really need to just spend time together and to try things in order for it to really have a chance at being special. So, we talk about it. Purcell wrote a Judge song, which is really cool, that we played a little bit in sound check. Never really tried it with vocals. So, we talk about it, but also I'm also okay just to leave everything the way it is. I don't, it has to be right. It has to be the right thing. So, maybe we'll do an EP, maybe 2 songs, maybe 1 song, it's just, it has to be good. It has to be really good. What do you think?
I mean,
should we do it or not?
I think you should do it. You want to do it. I mean, as you said, that you do it for yourself, and then if other people like it, then it's cool. But I got the feeling that the lineup of Shelter has the the right the right energy to do something good. I mean, it was a.
Yeah.
I mean, I see. As you said that you never listened the last records of Shelter. I saw Shelter especially on the last. I mean, on the last few years after Mantra is when they start coming to Spain, and I can see this lineup is probably the best one that I seen. You know,
Ah, cool.
as
Yeah.
they, yeah, I like it, and I can't really see Shelter doing some kind of a training of the Supreme of the style, the mid tempo,
Yeah.
melodic, not that fast, a few like a couple faster songs here and there. I would like to see
Yeah.
it, but
All
we'll
right.
see.
Well,
I
I
don't
think.
see. I tell me.
No, I think I agree. I think we just have to we have to see where life takes us. I want to. Ray and Purcell live upstate New York, so
Uh huh.
maybe I'll try and go there and see him. But yeah, it's there's Purcell. Both those guys just they're it has to come from them because they started the band, or Ray really started the band, and it's with
Yeah.
Judge. I feel like it has to come from Purcell and
Uh
Mike a
huh.
little bit, because that's their baby and they're the nucleus of it, but
Yeah. I know what you mean.
let's do,
At the same
yeah,
At the same time, I think one of the things I like it from Shelter when I saw you last year is Rai has a lot of stuff to say, and because I mean, it's something meaningful when he talks between the songs. It's not saying
yeah,
whatever, it has a meaning, and I think it would be good if you can put those meanings into songs, But we'll see,
yeah.
if he have
I think so
that.
too. He definitely has it. I mean, I remember the first Youth of Today show when we came back with Walter and Ray and Purcell and me, and sitting behind the drums, and Ray was talking in between songs and like literally getting chills again. Like just like this dude has this way of still just keeping you on the edge of your seat, and he's explosive. Even if he can't, I mean, the show that you're showing, the one in Badalona,
Yeah,
we played 15 shows straight. So the band is really tight, but Ray's voice
yeah,
is really screwed
yeah. I
up.
know.
But even when his
But he
voice is
still
screwed up,
delivers.
there's still some magic, to it. I
You
think.
you remember when you play I can't remember when it was, but I was at Berlin. It was at Youth Today and That Nasty.
Yeah,
It was
I
my
do.
first time seeing Youth Today with We Are Not in the Salon lineup. You remember you going into the stage and Rice said something when they say they are gone, we say we're back, and it was like at you. It was
Yeah.
okay, this is gonna be
Oh
so
yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
remember that.
He
Like,
said that same thing in Philadelphia. If they think that, if you think you lost your you think you lost this, you think you did this, you just tell them one thing. And then he looked at me like I was supposed to start the song. He looked at me like go, like it was like Ray from when we were kids. And I was just like, oh shit, tick tick tick, do like yikes.
I think. I mean, I was about to ask you what's the plan for Shelter, but more or less we've been talking about the plans for Shelter in the future. I
Yeah,
guess when the all the pandemic is gone and everything is back to normal, I guess you'll do some tours or whatever. So hopefully you're back in Spain and Barcelona. But I don't know. We see.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, Ray. He teaches yoga, so sometimes we try and
Yeah.
coordinate it with if he can come over and teach, and then we could play some
Yeah.
shows. But it's tough. It's tough to get him away. It's tough to get everyone together. But we've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, that tour again from the show, that was 15 shows straight. So like we did a lot that on that tour, and we've done. We're able to get it done. Just it takes a lot of effort, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know. Feel free to add whatever you like to the interview, and thank you very much for doing the interview. And,
Yeah, man. I just like I said before. I mean, I've got so much love for Spain, weather, and I know there's different regions, and so Badalona is different than Barcelona, right? Remind me.
yeah, it's the
Yes?
next town to Barcelona.
Okay.
But
But just so much love and so much respect for both you guys, because you're old school. You make it happen. And I love when I get those emails from you, David, of like, hey man, we're doing it, and it's always a good time. I'll never forget. Oh yeah, that was funny. It's a whole other story. I told you the story when I thought I left all we played a show and we got paid, and I thought I left all the money in the hotel, but it was in this. I had a backpack with all these zippers, and it was in this like crazy zipper, and the whole van ride from Basque Country down to Barcelona. I think it was Utah today, and I was flipping out. I was like, oh my god, I left it in the hotel. But that was no fun.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you guys, man.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, and I hope to see you both in June with Judge. Okay?
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Cool.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.